Hello and welcome to our latest unboxing video. I'm Eliza here at the Hatfield Public Library and I have a box of new adult books. I think mostly fiction, but we will see. We're going to start with North Woods by Daniel Mason, which I am very intrigued by. I actually went on Amazon and read the little how you can read the little sample because I was so intrigued. And it takes place in New England and it's about a solitary house that gets built by two young people who escape from a Puritan colony, and then it just goes through the house over time and all the different things that happen and the people who live there. Um, Again, I like the cover. Sort of, I think gives you the impression that this maybe is a book that's slightly out of the mold of the other books, and the writing, the sample that I read also kind of it's have a different style. But I was really intrigued and wanted to read more, so I'm looking forward to that. We have, speaking of out of the mold, we have Starter Villain by John Scalzi, which has this wonderful cat wearing a suit. It says "Meet the New Box." This is science fiction, or John Scalzi is usually a science fiction writer. This sounds like it's more like the superhero world. So it's about a divorced substitute teacher living with his cat, trying to get a loan approved, and then his long lost uncle dies and leaves him his supervillain business. It says complete with island volcano lair. So that sounds like right out of The Incredibles. That sounds very fun. We have Traitor's Gate by Jeffrey Archer. So takes place in England, definitely a thriller. Sounds like someone is they have to transport the crown jewels across London. Speaking of London and Great Britain, we have the new Richard Osman book, The Last Devil to Die. This is in the Thursday Murder Club series. I have been reading these stories. They're I think they're very funny and very light. It's about people in sort of a retirement community solving murders, but then there are serious themes as well, and I think it makes it you connect emotionally to the characters. So I definitely recommend those. How to Love Your Daughter, a novel, and this is by Hila Blum. And it's just this beautiful sort of painting on the front of a woman's face, and it's about a woman who has never met her grandchildren and is going back and forth through time to try to figure out what went wrong with her relationship with her daughter. Craig Johnson, The Longmire Defense. This is in the popular Longmire series, which is also a show on Netflix. We have the new Ken Follett book. Ooh, lots of big names in this box. This one is called The Armor of Light, and it is he's the author of Pillars of the Earth, but this specifically is a sequel to A Column of Fire. Takes place in Kingsbridge, England in the 1770s. A lot of people are excited about this one. It's the new Stephen King. It's called Holly. It's got a great cover with this sort of mansion, which I assume is something's going on. And it says it's the triumphant return of a beloved King character named Holly, who was first in Mr. Mercedes, and then Finders Keepers, and then in The Outsider. We have the new J.D. Robb, Payback in Death, part of the very popular In Death series, by an author who shares the same name and being with Nora Roberts. I'm sorry, she doesn't share the name. She shares everything but the name. She is the same being as Nora Roberts. So not all fiction. We have the new Heather Cox Richardson. This is called Democracy Awakening, Notes on the State of America. Heather Cox Richardson does a very popular newsletter every day about sort of what's going on in politics and sort of specifically keeping an eye on sort of the health of democracy, and then also tying in a lot of historical stuff because she is has a historical background. So she says she explains how over decades a small group of wealthy people have made war on American ideals. Um, hmm. Yeah, I think a lot of people. This is her second book, I'm pretty sure, and I think a lot of people want to read it. The first one was very popular. Another big name, Zadie Smith, The Fraud. I think this is a historical novel. Yes, 1873, which is a change for Zadie Smith, and Scottish housekeeper. So it's about a Scottish housekeeper who's a cousin of a once famous novelist. And then, Charles Dickens is character in the book. And then there's another storyline that takes place with a man who grew up in Jamaica. It sounds like there's a couple different storylines. It maybe ties in Jamaica and Australia, a lot going on, but that makes sense. It's very thick. My guess is it's a very immersive novel. I think, again, going to be exciting. Uh, Two more books. I have Alice Feeney, Good Bad Girl. This is definitely maybe like a domestic thriller. Yes, a baby is stolen from a stroller. A woman is killed. 20 years later, someone is trying to link those two crimes. Um, And then last of all, we have Whalefall by Daniel Kraus, which is a survival story about someone who gets swallowed by a sperm whale and has to figure out how to get out. A a diver. I have to say, a scuba diver who gets swallowed by a sperm whale. When I read the premise, I was like, that sounds completely ridiculous. And then when I was like reading more about the book, I was like, actually, that sounds kind of good. It reminded me a little of The Martian, where he has to survive alone on Mars. So yeah, I'm intrigued by this one. So maybe don't be like, it's ridiculous. I mean, it's definitely, whales are big inside, so I guess you could potentially be in live. And also, yeah, he's pulled into the first of four stomachs. He only has 1 hour before his oxygen runs out. It's definitely a page turner. That is my whole box of books, but I will be back soon with more. Bye.